Welcome to Unfiltered Discussions. You got Nash in the building.
Got Ash in the building.
Today, let's see. Let's talk about, do you feel like humans can survive with or without emotions? Do you think that's needed in order to survive as a human being?
Absolutely. Um, because when you don't have any type of emotions, or you walking around and not having no type of emotion, like emotions is definitely needed due to the fact that that determines how we react, how we behave to certain things. That also contributes to self-awareness when you have certain emotions and things of that nature. But also, a lot of the times, when it comes down to mental health, it's like either you have excess emotions, like too much emotions, or you have less emotion, certain things of that nature, like especially somebody that's depressed. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not able to survive based on their state of being. And that could be due to situational stuff. So emotions is definitely needed. Like even down to being empathetic, empathy, that's an important emotion to have. Being able to place yourself in somebody else's shoes, so that's definitely important as well. So it's a lot of different things that, not things, but emotions needed in order to survive on a daily basis. Because if you're somebody who act off in anger, you're acting off impulse and all different types of things. So you're not even aware of what's happening here. So you definitely need emotions, and emotional intelligence is important as well. So
Yeah. Um, for me, I see it on both sides, right? I feel like you ever hear it, and I know it sounds cliche, take your emotions out of it, right? And I feel like a lot of stuff you have to remove your emotions from because it gets in the way of things. A lot of times, your emotions get away and stuff. Like whether you're trying to handle business, you make it a personal issue, you put your own emotional stuff inside of the situation. Even down to situations that you need to move on from or remove yourself from. And if you lead it with emotion, then you tend to stay in things more longer than you're supposed to, right? And that's down to platonic, intimate, so a bunch of different situations. So for me, certain stuff you can't even attach emotion to it because then you're not going to really, really give it to and full like where you can really take something at. You know what I mean? Like because if I'm so emotional about it, I'm not in my logic about it, right? I'm thinking with this and not this. And certain times we don't always need this, depending on the circumstances, right? But then on my other side, of course, I'm an empathetic person, right? I can understand. I like to use a humanistic approach when I'm dealing with anybody and things like that. And I feel like to me, like honestly, in order for me, okay, initially, yes, depending on where we get and who I'm dealing with, you will see certain emotions. Like if I really don't care about you, I'm not going to be overly emotional about anything when it comes to certain people, right? But if I really got love for you, then the emotional side of me will show up because it's not only on principle and respect for certain stuff, right? But then if it's somebody I could care less about, it's like, oh, she mean, but it's not that I mean. It's just no in between with me. Either it's like either I do or I don't, right? But in order to survive, like, and that even goes down to like our senior citizens, like they need their stimulation from other humans in order to survive. They need to have their socialization. They need to, do those all that period and extra stuff. They need it. They need it, right? Because if you notice that a lot of older people that live in nursing homes and stuff like that, or in senior facilities, that they live a little bit longer because they got people to, talk about their day. Well, maybe the same stuff depending on if they diagnosed with dementia and stuff like that. It might be repetitive stuff, but they don't know that it's repetitive. Or they might just be kicking it like they did back in the teenage years and showing a little gossip. Because as they get older, they tend to gossip. And my grandma was like definitely known for that as she got older. Not so much of a gossip, but like just say how she feel, right? With unapologetically too, right? um, you know, and it's either you could take or you couldn't, but again, like in order, like so, certain emotions have to be in place in order to survive as a human being, and then even in order to survive as a human being, certain emotions have to be taken out the equation, depending on what's the ultimate goal. What are you dealing with? Who are you what's the why behind it all, right? And we're not talking like if we're walking down the street after dinner, we see somebody getting hurt or somebody in a car accident. That's now you're gonna jump into assist, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now when you're talking about, listen, I'm trying to do deadlines, like the team that I put together and push, pulling their weight. I'm not empathetic to that. Like all the emotions, I can't understand what you got going on because I got issues to do. You understand? Like everybody got a part to play, and you ain't doing your part. And no, I don't guess. Normally, I would hear it. You just keep calling around saying your baby got a runny nose, or oh, I got a flat tire. Every excuse in the book, I would have normally bit that, right? Mm-hmm. But I can't bite that right now because X, Y, and Z is going on for me now, right? So a lot of stuff, you can't have emotions, and a lot of stuff you gotta have emotions.
Yeah, for sure. Especially, I understand your perspective based on the fact, like, it's a lot of people always use the term business. It's nothing personal. We're gonna do business before it's even. We're not even gonna do it on a personal level, because if I'm running a Fortune 500 company or whatever, I don't have time to allow people to sabotage my business. I'm not gonna allow you lacking in any areas where it doesn't need to be lacked. Now, yes, it doesn't mean that somebody's less human. No, but at the same time, we cannot allow our emotions to overpower our intelligence, right? So a lot of the times we let those emotions. We're overstimulated with so many emotions. We're not able to regulate what's going on at that moment. So yes, we need to be able to kind of step back and kind of look around and be mindful. And that's where that self-awareness come in. That's why you do need some type of emotion and a sense of checking in with yourself to say, hold on, wait a minute. I can't react in this way. That's not a good way to react. And especially like if you're trying to, like you said, meet a deadline. I'm trying to get things set in place, or something might come up in the midst of you trying to get some stuff done. And here it is. Now I can't meet the deadline because why? Because I'm just going to sit here and allow my emotions to overpower everything. No. If you really got a mission and you're aware, you're going to be like, you know what? I can't worry about that right now. I really got to cut all this out and really focus on my task at hand and say, listen, this got to get done. This is what it is, and that's that. Like them shows we watch, and we see like them having tasks to do for the Apprentice and all that kind of stuff, and you look around and be like, well, why are they so crazy on people like that? No, this is what like stuff. Because if I move with emotions, my company is gonna fall. I'm losing money. I might go bankrupt behind you, and I can't leave that with emotions at the end of the day. So no, I may not. Now, a lot of the times when people, go on and act like they don't have a care in the world, like you be like, dang, like this person is. Now you have people that are emotionally unavailable, for sure.
I think, and that's kind of in terms of intimate relationships.
Yes.
I hear a lot of women say, "Oh, he's emotionally unavailable," and it's like, damn, that's a hurt piece because like you're doing intimate things with somebody but on the flip side, is still emotionally unavailable. So they pick and choose where they show emotions at, right? Because there's no way that your guts really are at with them being emotionally unavailable. It's the fact that you're ready for the next stage and he's not. He's willing, this is as much as he's willing to give you, and that's it. But because he showed you that little bit, you see more potential in him than he's willing to let you have. And that's where that whole emotionally unavailable thing come in. But then oftentimes too, I can't even say it because people is truly tell you how they feel about something from the very beginning, and you were hoping your brain to do all this stuff. Someone may think they're going to act up in the bedroom. You know what I mean? Cook all his favorite meals. You know what I mean? Be his secretary, be his voice of reason, be his listening ear. All these things are hopes that the emotion that he told you from the rip wasn't available because they don't really use those terms. But some men does know what the emotionally unavailable is. They say it in so many ways without actually saying that. And some people don't pick up, what is that? They're looking on red flags.
That's the
red flags are there. They're waving them in your face. Like they told you from the very beginning, and their actions are aligning with what they told you. But again, a lot of people can't accept that. They be like, "What? I'm this type of chick, or I'm this type of dude. Like, what you mean you're not available for me?" Some people not available for themselves emotionally,
So
so they don't have anything to give to you. But I can respect that somebody say that from the beginning. So however I choose to indulge with you, I gotta take that. That's what the accountability comes in at. You would have to go ahead and say, "Dad, well, he or she did tell me that from the very beginning, but I thought if I did X way, I could persuade them to be available or emotionally the way that I would like them to be." Because normally people thrive off of acts of kindness, you know what I mean? Things like that that to think that it would change people's mind. But again, if somebody already know they self, if they self aware and then they like, listen, I ain't got no to give. I might could do a night or two with you. We might could bust it up about what how you day was. Like I tell you, but as far as the long term stuff, or if you want me here like 7 days a week, having dinner at the same time every night, me and acting with your kids, I ain't
but you
got it.
know, that right there is sad because this person sat there and they were vocal about this. They have communicated this. They even took that was their actual valid feelings, and you did not accept
You
it.
dismissed it.
Yeah, you were not receptive to how they felt about the situation, but in your mind somewhere you felt like you were able to be able to
Manipulate the situation.
exactly. You can't manipulate that. They told you already what it was. You thought you was going to do everything under the sun, and it's not getting what it was supposed to give.
And they're gonna accept it. They're gonna take whatever you
Yes,
give all
for
day
sure.
long. They told me you gave it to me, right? But I told you, yeah, you might have did all the tricks in the bed, but I told you already.
That's not what I'm looking for.
I mean, I run across women that do that. That's like in their head thinking. I run across women that do that all the time because if you're not the first woman that I ran into that I told this to, and they tried to like show out, put it on a damn grand finale for me, and it still is not changing my mind. I just
But why is
don't have it.
it's funny because a lot people are very men, especially a lot of men are vocal about these things, right?
But women aren't.
And and a lot of you find even like you said you encounter all these different women. Now you putting on a whole woo you and don't let this person tell you, oh yeah, and I'm speaking to other women as well. I'm talking to other people. Now you really putting it on. You in competition. Competition is on
and that's
the
not
rise.
healthy competition. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of women say, "Oh, it's fair game." Okay, it's different phases in your life, right? You can be in a phase where you feel like it's fair game, and every man, every woman for themselves. Like, if you're single, he's single, and y'all, are dating. Cool, yeah, that's part of the dating game. It's fair game all day long. But once you're emotionally involved with somebody, it's no more fair game. That's off the table, right? The dynamics and the situations have changed. So you have to be really, really sure. That's why you always got to get back to that table again and see what's going on. Like, where we at with it? Like, I know we met and linked like a couple months ago. Is it still fair game or we playing for keeps? Like, what we doing here? A lot of people scared to check in because they don't want to know what the reality is.
And that's that emotion piece that they need. They scared of the unknown. The emotion is rather you need to know this is being laid out on the table and presented in front of you. That determines how you react to situations. But see, you was already told that. Now you're reacting in ways that this person is not accepting to, right? Mm-hmm. So now here it is. Like I said, you're putting on this grand finale, this whatever you want to call it, a showcase, a concert, whatever you're putting on for this person.
Yeah. And then it's like, oh, he misled me, or she, had me, but nobody did that. Like, because you are not using your active listening skills when someone clearly is telling you what they don't have to give. And and then I'm not gonna lie. Oftentimes, people that say they're emotionally unavailable will go with the next person and give them everything that you've been begging for. Yeah. And that's just the truth. I mean, like, I don't know what
but that do be the truth.
I mean,
but
you're not the one, my guy. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, it's not even, it's personal. Because I'm not gonna say it's not personal. But either I deal with you like that or I don't. And that's just what it is. Like, I'm not faking it around. Like, and respect it. Like, it could be one thing where it's though we just cool, Like, I might enjoy your conversation. This isn't my, and I'm talking about prior, not now. That's not getting it too screwed. But I'm just saying, like, I might, enjoy the conversation matter, stuff like that, and that's it.
But that's the
Or we
important.
might be cool. We could bust it up about certain topics. That's it. Okay?
She okay, but nah. He okay, but nah. And people already know this going into certain situations, so they already know this in their brain, regardless of how much this person brings to the table. Like, you're just not
Yeah,
that.
you could be the full package, but
It's just not
the emotion. Some people, and that's the prime example. You ever see people be like, "Dang, she look good or he look good. Why he with that type of person? Why she with him?" Like, they don't even match up. But it doesn't even be about the physical aspect of things. It be things that the girl or guy that had it all put together or look put together. It looks good to see.
Yeah.
But what's up in the inside? You know what I mean? What's up here? What's upstairs? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people present well, but really when you start cracking and moving them like damn, like you're a messed up individual. Like something wrong with you. And I ain't talking about no mental health stuff. I would never talk like that. No, I mean like overall, like you're like you present very well, but in the inside you don't know who you are. You man, listen, let me
toxic.
You're negative. You know what I mean? You don't even know where you're going in life. You know what I mean? It's just so many different things that we could sit here and point out, even down to how people handle responsibilities. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about men and women when it comes down to their children.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like as a parent, I can't ever say, oh, even with me and my 7 20-year-old, it's like I still gotta be a parent at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Of course, my 13-year-old still need me, but that 20-year-old feel like need me more than the 13-year-old. Do they even? It's like you would think the older they get, the less they need you, right? But what if I was to say, oh, she 19, that ain't my job, or you know what I mean? Like certain stuff. No, it's not my thing to do because I feel like I have instilled enough things in you for you to be able to live life on your own and stand on your own too in certain instances in life, but not everything. It's a proven fact. You know.
And the crazy thing about all of it is, it's like that's the importance of really like that emotion piece is to really be self-aware, because that determines, like I said, how you what you're willing to deal with, what you're willing to accept. So when you're not emotionally in tune with self, you're falling for anything that come your way for real, because you're not. Yeah, yeah. That means that you're ignoring things that are presented directly in front of you, and you're choosing to ignore those different things because you don't even know yourself. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people that you know are not really emotionally aware, they tend to put themselves in situations that they shouldn't be in.
Oh, absolutely. Well, because they want to feel, even if it's not a good feel.
It's a void, and they're not aware of it.
Or then you tend to have people that say, I put all this time in with this person. And it's like, what did you put in? What are you getting back? And it's like, what are you going to lose if you eliminate yourself from the situation? Yes, nobody wasted time because it's something with time is priceless. We can't get back. We all are well aware of that. But I'd rather cut you short than to waste another second on you.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because now there's more time I can get back. Whether I can be working on self, and then I could be building up what I need to build up over here, and then giving it to somebody that deserves it.
Absolutely.
When it's all put together the way it should be put together. Or where I feel like I'm in an emotional space to actually love on somebody else. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because if you ain't loving up on you first, then you can't really give nothing to nobody. No. Not your children, not your career, not your, immediate family, not your significant other. I mean, literally nobody when it's all said and done. So, yes, on those levels in life, yes, you have to have emotions in order to survive. But when it comes down to business,
that's another story.
Or when it comes down to setting things straight with certain individuals, forget those emotions. Because a lot of people tend to, hold on to friendships, relationships, all that stuff over can't. Not,
But the thing is, a lot of the times people harp on when they first met somebody, right? And a lot of times it's hard for them to erase that part of the individual. And the sad piece is, these are the same things. This is why I go back to self-awareness, where when you do that, you attract the same people. When you don't sit down and really stop to evaluate and re-examine what's going on and weigh the pros and the cons of the situation, because history doesn't align with somebody handling you in certain ways. Emotionally, yes, you may be tied to this individual, you got history with this person, but that does not mean that you have to tolerate this individual. No, it doesn't. And that emotion piece is dangerous in a sense.
Yes, it is. I think that is extremely dangerous. For example, you see people act out in passion crimes all the time, right? Oh, he or she doesn't want me anymore, and it's like that's their guiding right.
Absolutely.
I don't want to do it, for this, so do I have to die because I don't want you? Now, in the midst of all of that, do I ever believe somebody's life is supposed to be taken over love? No. Now, do I think that it's effed up if you are playing with somebody's emotions and making them believe that, oh, I love you so much, and you over there doing some stuff you have no business doing? That's not cool. And you can't choose, and that's the thing in life. When you throw something out in the universe, you can't tell nobody how to react to it. Is it right? No, because everybody got to pay the consequences for their actions. The person that's going to take your life, they got to, go to jail. You're going to be either no longer here or disabled behind your actions. Everybody has to take accountability in whatever role they're going to play in a situation. But when you are firm in your emotions, you're like, yeah, that shit hurt a little bit, but man,
it's cool. I know I'll be alright at the end of the day.
I cut you clear off.
Bye-bye.
I ain't looking for my lick back and done. Because that's going to hurt you more than that, right? I ain't got to get petty because I don't do petty. You're done.
Now, what
girl, that's done deal.
And
no.
That kind of stuff is definitely dangerous, because a lot of the people want to dip and dab and fiddle faddle with individuals, and that emotional thing. People think it's a joke when it comes down to emotions, and it's really not a joke.
Especially if you don't know how to channel those.
You playing a game that you need to know what you're doing when you're playing that game, because you can't sit here and possibly sit here and for instance, you have a lot of people that have come from abusive relationships, and they say they're walking away, but then you back and forth, in and out of relationship, and it's like really important to really make a decision behind really leaving this person alone, because I mean it's not easy for these individuals that have been in abusive relationships, and I would never minimize anybody being in abusive relationships, but that's a lot of you see these things a lot where this person sneak around with the individual you thought because they told you that they left this person alone, but they're secretly dealing with this person, and then when something happened or a crime happened, like, oh wow, she left him alone. Why did he come in her house? Why did not saying that it's right, but you can't keep playing with your life like that.
Yeah, see that kind of stuff. Nah, it's just that's a heavy topic.
Absolutely.
And I'm big on only speaking on things that I may have experienced personally, even if I know people that have experienced DV. It's just because I can't tell you why. I don't know. I've never, thank God I haven't been in no, physically abusive relationships. So I can't say why people stay or go back. I don't know. I don't know. Of course, can I empathize with those people all day long? You know what I mean? Just because I'm not physically in it doesn't mean that I don't understand the why behind it, right? Mm-hmm. Just because it's toxic, that even goes down to people don't know something wrong with too if somebody else points it out.
Yes.
And that's a part of people's normal, right?
Absolutely.
It's not normal to people that's not in it. Oh, somebody punch you in your face, so then you can beat down on her. That's not normal to the person that's not dealing with it. So of course they're going to be the expert in it because they're not dealing with it, right? So where's a person that's in it, but he loved me? You know what I mean? So that kind of stuff, man. Listen, All you could do for people like that is be there for them. You know what I mean?
That
Even if they
support.
go back a million times because nobody knows the why, only they know why.
No.
You know what I mean? And you just pray that they can make it up out of there one day, because that's a hard one. That one is extremely hard. Whether it's financial things they depend on, whether they want to keep something together for their children, whether they really truly believe this is the only person they first showed them that what love was, and then turned around and that was a monster. You know what I mean? So yeah, so to anybody out there with that, like I pray for you, I wish you well, and hopefully one day you come up out of it, because that's a hard space to be in.
Absolutely.
That changes forever.
Yeah.
And it leaves a mark on you, some in a good way, and some in a way that nobody can even imagine. So yeah, that kind of stuff. No, no sir. But yeah, but people, what's so crazy? A lot of people will sit there and use emotions, like they manipulate emotions, right? If you know somebody care about you, right, you could do around and really, really do a number on this person.
Let me tell you something.
No, I'm just saying.
But
thinking about it, like,
because that manipulation really ties back to like narcissism in a sense, and a lot of people are not really aware of that. And it also ties to being an emotionally abusive relationship. You know what I'm saying? And it's not a good feeling. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's not.
And it takes a while. Like me personally, you looking around and you trying to figure out why you keep feeling the way that you're feeling. You tell yourself, I'm not happy, but why am I happy? Because you're in a relationship with a toxic, manipulative individual that will manipulate, meaning that they will sit there and utilize your empathy, how you are as an individual, and how you are a selfless individual, and what you bring to the table. Because you have people that will sit there and peg off your emotions and try to match your emotions and imitate them and act as if they have your best interests at heart. They will sit there and act as if they have the same interests as you. They will act as if they have the same things that are in common with you. Those type of things and those type of people are dangerous people. And this is why you hear about things that are really crazy that happen to people based off of that kind of stuff. That manipulation piece is nothing. That person is really crazy if you got to sit here and manipulate somebody, and that manipulation is in order to control somebody. Like if you love somebody, why manipulate them? Why try to do these certain things to these people?
Because they're not whole within themselves. And that's like a vampire that needs blood to survive, right?
Them energy.
So they need to break, something from somebody else, the power. It's just so many things that go along with that emotional manipulation. At the end of the day, and of course, if you sitting here getting really nice stuff and they don't see it coming, they don't even have a clue. By the time they catch on to what's happening, it's like, damn, whoa, what am I in? Wait a minute, what's going on here? And you're too deep in. You're too deep in. You didn't even know that you've been trying to get to the top all that time. You don't even have a clue that you've been trying to swim to the top. And then that's when it goes to when you let the little things slide.
Therefore,
oh, she ain't mean it, because it's not just this is not gender based at all.
No way.
You know what I mean? Everybody always wants to say the man, but it's women that does it to men.
Absolutely.
If you know you got somebody hurt, it's easy to manipulate it, because you know what strings to pull, what makes them happy, what upsets them. You know what I mean? If we speak on life into them and stuff like that, you know what to say to make them thrive or to make them cry. You just know. You know what I mean? So to have that type of power, why abuse it? Yeah. Because that's a beautiful thing, to be quite honest, to be in sync with someone on that level. People go a lifetime looking for stuff like that. So if you finally get it, why abuse it? Why misuse it? You know what I mean? Like that's weird. That's really weird. If you think about it as a whole, it's like, it's sad. But that's again, people can't help you and be emotionally available to you if they're not to themselves. And that's just the whole the thing as a whole. Like, in life, you gotta just be able to separate it all. If you have the ability to do so, everybody don't have that ability, and sometimes you gotta hurt sometimes in order to learn that, right? Some people got it naturally. And some people, like I said, you gotta feel it. You gotta feel
Absolutely.
it in order to be like, you know what? I'm not doing that no more. Next go round, I'm gonna move like this because I know how they feel, right?
Yeah.
And if I use all of this all the time and not this, then I'm going to be selling myself short. And I know we say, oh, it ain't, but no, it's very personal. It gotta be personal because you on the line at the end of the day. Your heart on the line, your mental on the line, your emotions on the line.
All of it.
And then if you allow yourself to get damaged to the point that you're no good for somebody else. Because a lot of people stay in stuff so long that they are so damaged that they couldn't even see something really they standing right inside of their face. They're in a constant battle. I kept seeing this go around the internet, and it kept saying, your hardest relationship is the healthy one after the toxic one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, damn, you know why they said that? You never really think why did they say that. But when you really, really think of that, the whole how they put that together is true.
It makes perfect sense.
Perfect sense. Yes, doesn't it make sense?
Yes.
It's like, damn, because then I'm fighting to see what's real and what's fake.
And
I don't even know.
And it's crazy based off of that. It's crazy that you say that because once you've been through something that's so drastic and toxic and verbally abusive and all these different things, you sit back and you look and you start building a healthy relationship with self, because a lot of the times when we have people that come into our lives, we don't realize we're in a broken state. We don't realize that we're really not put together as we thought we are.
Oh, yeah.
And our boundaries weren't set like we really thought they were. So then once you're out of that relationship, you start really building that healthy relationship with self. So once you build that healthy relationship with self, then you're able to get that healthy relationship with the person that you're supposed to be with. And that's the craziest thing, but it's true.
Oh, absolutely, all day long.
And that's based off experience.
Yeah. Because this is the unfiltered way.
Yeah, so this is experience.
All day long. And what's what I really need people to understand. Imagine if you pour all the love, emotions, patience, time, consistency, all of that stuff into yourself, building up yourself like you do the person that you want to love you back in the same manner. Imagine if you put all that work in on you. Imagine it, because if you do that for yourself, and then you finally go out into the universe and try to, reciprocate that with somebody else, like it wouldn't even if they weren't able to give it to you, it wouldn't break you.
And
it wouldn't break you. You know what I mean? Because you already did your work on yourself.
That part.
I'm whole. So only thing you can add, you can't subtract from it. You can only add. If I see that you're not adding, then you're getting rid of.
Absolutely.
Simple math.
You're your authentic self.
There's nothing to really even think about. You understand?
And you know what's so crazy though? People don't realize what the hardest relationship is, and that relationship is yourself. That is the hardest relationship is with yourself, because what we often don't do is strip ourselves naked and really look at ourselves in a full length mirror and really pull out all, not certain, but everything, and lay it all out on the table and really get in tune with self.
Yeah, because you know what, when people say, "Oh, would you date you?" Like, would you date yourself?
Yes, I would. Now I would. Cause listen,
at the end of the day, of course I would date myself, but under the same breath, then you have to also know, how to deal with me as well. You know what I mean? Yes, I may be like a social butterfly in certain situations, but at the same time, I like my alone time. You know what I mean? Like, no, and it's personal for me. It's not personal towards anybody that I'm with. It's just something that I require. And I guess if this goes along, growing up in a house full of 6 kids, right? Being the second oldest, I require that. You would think that I probably want to be around a bunch of people all day long. I really don't. Like, not at all. Like, I need my alone time. That's my time to hit my reset button to get back to, the basics with myself. And just like go over, my day or whatever, or just sort of things out. You know what I mean? That's my time, and I want to take that all day long. And that's why you gotta be able to deal with people that aligns with you. You know what I mean? We ain't gotta be the same on every level, but major levels we have to be the same. Like we gotta be able to see it. You gotta understand me, and I have to understand you. Everybody's different. Everybody deserves their individuality, and then of course you come together as a couple. You know, as a unit, whatever you want to call it, as a team, how you want to word it. But yeah, it's that stuff is extremely important. To take a self inventory of yourself. Do some work because we all got work. Yeah, we all got work at the end of the day. Yes, I always tell you, I don't like my birthday coming up soon, and I'm not going to be the same person that's sitting on the couch today. I require that of myself. I always require something different each. I just feel different every time I turn another year. I don't know what it is. I just feel like, oh, then I gotta up the ante real quick for myself, and that's going to be all day long. You know, even though I claim 21 every year, but I have to up the ante on it. And for me, it's always me versus me all the time. I never understood that whole thing where you look at somebody else and what you got going on ain't got no, even could inspire me of like, or I'm like, dang, that's dope, and I keep it pushing. Like it's not. I'm not intimidated. I'm not like, oh, I gotta get in your lane. It's nothing close to anything like that. Like I like to learn from people. Like if I can learn from you, cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you gotta read. That's one thing in life, and I want to always tell them that remain teachable and reachable. If you ain't do nothing in life, you better do those two things at the end of the day. Because no matter how high, because I'm gonna be in something major. I mean, I'm already now, but it's no real talk. And even no matter what level I get on in life, I'm still gonna remain reachable. And no, not to everybody. Everybody can't have access to me.
Because they wasn't there with you on the way up. So why would I have you have access to me?
No, I'm not meaning it in that way. Mm-hmm. Now, but I could drop gems all day long. And then certain people, you're just not getting any gems.
You don't need to be around.
Because again, I remember. I didn't forget. I'm not holding on, but now that you're back in my face, I remember that now.
But they be the main people that sit up there and say, well, this person acting different because they got this now. Where were you then? I'm confused.
I ain't worked this hard to stay the same. No. I would hate to be the same person.
But that's what I don't understand about people when they sit here and they want to be in competition with people and think, like, I really, really enjoy seeing people win. You know, I don't care what nobody else got going on. It's just sad when you have people that sit around and, like we said, you listen to the conversations that's being had or the comments that's being given based off of certain things that you have evolved in and you have accomplished. You have a lot of comments that's negative, and you look around and be like, oh, okay, cool. But what you're saying ain't stopping me by a long shot.
No, absolutely not. And I just want everybody to do their thing. Like I don't care what it is, major, minor. Everybody got something they want to do. And even if your idea is so far fetched, still go after it. Like it may sound crazy, but I'm quite sure somebody else could relate to it. And fulfill it, even if it's not successful. Still do it so you can check it off your list at the end of the day. Because I'm big on that. You gotta have a list. There's always something else to do. There's always more. It's never just this. It's always more. And another thing I want y'all to know, we definitely going to be revamping unfiltered discussion soon.
Yes.
New things coming in the works. You know, what's this, episode 39 today?
Yeah, we hit the ground running.
Exactly. We missed a week, and it's 52 weeks in a year, and we on the 39th week. And listen,
we doing it like
absolutely. So major revamping is coming for unfiltered discussions. So I know y'all say, they back on the couch together again. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we've been doing some work behind the scenes. And, just going to come back bigger and better for y'all. And the thing is here, we passionate about something. You know, I'm not going to lie. It was kind of a struggle today to come on the couch a little bit. You know, because life happens.
Life shows up, yes.
You know, so then you sit and you say, Dad, nah, they don't need it this week.
No, I need it this week. And that's just how it went. Like,
you know what I mean? And I'm just like, listen, life is happening and it's cool. We're going to revamp and we're going to come back. But you know what? Then you have to make that conscious decision because when it's in your heart, you still got to do it.
Listen.
When it's all said and done, no matter what else is, whatever distractions is going on, we still had to show up today. And that's what we did.
Yeah. Minus the energy
Here.
vampires.
Yeah. Regardless of whatever got in the way today, we still showed up. And we want to continue to show up because I mean it, like this for life. Like, I literally, like, want to stand on that, and I can stand on that because I believe in what we do. I believe in what we talk about. I believe in what we provide for the community and others to be able to get on here and share what they can give back to the world, what they got going on. You know what I mean? And just sit down and have some real unfiltered discussions on this thing. I mean, y'all seen it. Y'all know that we ain't farting. And that's just that. You know, life do you. Even when life get in the way, still show up. Show up. Like I said, even if we don't get a view, I don't care. We still gonna show up every week. And then for all y'all to do, like, comment, subscribe. You know, anything word of mouth. I run into people all the time. Oh my God, the show was good. Oh my God, you doing your thing. Y'all do your thing. You know what I mean? We appreciate that. Like, and that's wholeheartedly too. That's all facts and no cap. So this is Nash signing off.
Ash signing off. Bye bye.